எனக்கு சோள பூமி.
So I think last week most of you had missed the session. So what we're going to do, we are going to see a little bit about last week, and we are going to go further into the climate of planets. So you know me, so Abhi, and all the other planets are there with me. So we saw why Neptune is very cold, and where are the orbits of the planets, and how long does it take to orbit the entire Milky Way galaxy? How did Uranus tilt from its side? So all these things we came to know on 2 weeks on the back. So we were on the axis of knowing where and why the Uranus got its tilt. So that's what we saw in the previous episode. So we came to know about all the tilt axis of each and every planet. So each planet has its own tilt. So each one has certain degrees. So some are very vertical, some are even tilted to the other side of the planet. So everything is different. So the last thing that Moon was very curious was, why is it always cold and why is it always sparky? There is diamond rains going on in Neptune. So what is the reason for diamond rain in Neptune? So that is what we are going to see today. So why is there diamond rain on Uranus and Neptune? So first of all, when we ask this question, who is the best person to answer it? Obviously, it has to be the Moon. So Moon was like, where is the diamond coming here? We know that diamonds are always there in the earth, because when we dig very deeper and deeper and we go for mining, we'll get lots of diamonds. But where is this? Suddenly we are getting a different diamond from a different planet. So this is because we have something called methane cycle. So this is what Neptune told us. So what is methane cycle? So that is what we are going to ask today. So what is that we know about water cycle? Can anyone tell me about what is water cycle?
Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation.
Super, very good. So that is what is called as water cycle. So this all these things, when it goes round and round, so the water goes up, becomes a cloud, falls back onto the ocean, becomes a river, comes back in. All these things, when it happens again and again, it becomes a water cycle. This is what is happening in Earth, that is the planet that we are living right now. But in other planets, certain things happen always in faster way. We have some kind of people that we consume a lot of non-vegetarian things. So we eat a lot of pork, fish, and all these things. So whenever they consume things, a lot of methane gas is given out. So this is also coming from very deep inside the riverbeds, where there are lots and lots of planktons. Have you heard of these things called planktons? Planktons.
Tiny sea creatures.
Yeah, they are very tiny. They're very very tiny sea creatures. So when they
They are eaten by the sharks.
they get eaten by the sharks. So when they die, they give out a lot of methane. So all these dead fishes, dead animals, and all the things that go into the earth will become methane, and they'll come out into the atmosphere and they'll fill it up. But naturally, what happens for earth, it is neutral. So what happens, we have so much of nitrogen, so this nitrogen will neutralize all these things, and it will become a very small percentage in our atmosphere. But when it goes to Uranus and Neptune, there is no other way for nitrogen to stay. So what happens, everything will be consumed by hydrogen, and hydrogen will become very big, and it will become a very big cloud of hydrogen. So this hydrogen cloud will make that methane very short. It will start compressing, and it will make it very very small. So for Earth, it will take some billions and millions of years to make one small piece of diamond. But planets like Uranus and Neptune, whenever they go very high into the sky, this methane will get compressed, and it will become a very solid like a diamond, and they will fall back down. So when we see in this Earth, we keep on digging. So we dig, and every from 600 to 700 meters, if you dig, we will get one piece of diamond. So that's very, very rare. So what happened? Scientists all thought, this is very tough. If we start doing this for all our life, we will never get diamonds like in Uranus and Neptune. So what we'll better do, we'll find some chemical way to make it. So they got inspired from Uranus and Neptune, and they started making all these things that is needed for making diamond in Earth. So they found what is the atmosphere, what is the things that are there in their internal structure, what is that has to be there in the inside. All these things they said. Those they started creating their own very little planet of Uranus. So with that, they were able to make diamonds in the Earth itself. So with a little bit of experiments, they started making artificial diamonds. That is, diamonds which are not inside the Earth, but on the outside, which is made through methane. So when you add methane, and we create a kind of thing called plasma. The plasma is like a super hot liquid. So when you make a super hot liquid of methane, you can make your own diamond. So that's how people have started making diamonds inspired by Uranus and Neptune. So this is how it is. So over many thousands of years or billions of years it takes for Earth to make diamonds. It hardly takes 1 or 2 days for Uranus or Neptune to make diamond. So using this scientific method, they started making diamonds in the Earth itself. So what they did, they started making so similar to it that it is not even possible to distinguish which is real and which is artificial. So over many experiments, that is many ways in which doing it, they started making very small amount of diamonds. But now scientists are very sure they can even make diamonds as big as the real kind of diamond. That is something that is called as carats. So it's not like our eating carrot, it is like the shape of a diamond structure. How it is. So this is how big they are going to make in the future. So we know about Neptune because Neptune is the planet which is filled with all the hydrogen gas, and hydrogen and helium, when they come very close in contact to each other, they become a cold state of liquid, and this liquid mushy plasma is the helpful ingredient for making all the planets diamonds. So this, in combined with a little small percentage of other elements, will make it. Yes, Teju, what is your question? You raised your hand. No question? Okay. So like this, when they started to make so much of changes into the atmosphere of the Uranus and Neptune, everything has been. Yes, what is your question?
Yes, Neptune is filled with hydrogen and helium, no, sir. Hydrogen and helium are in the sun's surface also, but they make the sun's hot, no, sir. Then in Neptune also it should be hot, sir.
Good question. What happens is there is a equilibrium reaction, which is whenever there is hydrogen and helium, they can only make changes to it by nuclear fission. That is, when they are in constant motion, when they are hitting each other, they will make changes into their structure and they can become a star or a sun. But unfortunately, because of very low gravity, that is, the gravity of the planet is being very low, it doesn't support for them to become very fast so that they can hit each other and they can become their own sun or a star. So that is the reason planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, all the 4 big brothers, can't have the ability to become a very fast, very super fast star. They can only become very small dwarf star. That too, it will take some another billion years for their time to become, for which all their hydrogen has to be consumed, all their helium has to be burnt out, and all the core elements has to be very hot. So that's why it will become very hot and boiling, and they can become a sun or a very small sun. So
Okay.
for methane cycle to happen, it is very easy because there is no nitrogen to stop the reaction, no neutralization of reaction. So what happens, whenever the methane gas goes up, there is already a lot of hydrogen filled in the air. So hydrogen is slightly colder in the liquid state, and when helium joins with it, it has a tendency to break and it will make the methane atoms very close to each other. So methane's chemical formula is CH4. So it has 1 part of carbon and 4 parts of hydrogen. So what happened? This hydrogen will get swapped. It will get absorbed by all the elements in the atmospheric hydrogen, and all the carbon will become very strong, and doing it will come and fall down into the surface of the planet. So that's why you will find a lot of carbon. Carbon is nothing but another name for diamond. So carbon is diamond. Acha, have you have drinking purifier, water purifier at your home, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is there inside that diamond purifier?
The water is made of water.
Kana, I'm not talking about water. That water purifier, no, that white color dabba inside your home. White dabba, you will pour water and it will come out as a clean water. You would have never gone to kitchen? No.
No, sir.
So no problem. So whenever you find one putting a small tumbler and they are drinking water from a dispenser, it is filled with something called activated carbon. So carbon, when it is highly active, it becomes very how do you say, mushy. It's very mushy. It is very soft and mushy. So when this mushy things happen, it can absorb so much of dust and dirt and things, so it will become very big. So it becomes something called activated carbon. But in the opposite side, if it's not very mushy, if it is very hard, very stone cold, very rock solid hard, it's called diamond. So carbon has so many forms. It is an amorphous form of carbon. So one side it is very soft, one side it is very hard. So when you drink water, the water purifier is very soft carbon. When you have it in your ring or when you have it in your necklace, it is a very hard carbon called diamond. Okay, sound good? Okay. So we also saw something in the last time about how our planets and all our brothers in the solar system are traveling across the Milky Way galaxy in a round fashion. So this is not the only thing that they do. They also go around the sun at all times. So when you take for one time, say if I start now, if I go around the center of the entire Milky Way galaxy, it will take around 213 million years to change. So in that time, what happens if Uranus had a thick ring? It would have dissolved by a very small amount, so it will be very thin ring. Neptune, it's cold and it is very hot on one side, and when it goes to the other side, it will be very different climate on the other side. So all these things happen because climates of a planet can also change over many thousands and millions of years when they go around the Milky Way galaxy, because they are facing the different sides of the orientation of the galaxy. Like that, when you start to go around, so one time you will have summer, one time you have winter, one time you have autumn, and one time you have spring when you are in the earth. Like that, every planet has a different climate. So that's what we saw when we were going through the galaxy in our school bus. And one point of time we started to notice that there are different clouds and different rains coming in each planet. So now I told you about one planet that we already know, that is in Earth you have 4 seasons that come because of the axis. So if it is summer in India, what is the climate in South America? Where is
Winter.
it is winter. Okay. So if it is summer in Europe, what is the climate in Australia?
Sunny, sir.
It is in the opposite side, but it is slightly tilted.
Winter.
Yes.
Winter.
So what only time when Santa Claus comes to Australia is on the summer. All around the world, Santa Claus comes on the winter, but for Australia he comes on summer, because that is the climate of Australia during the months of November, December and January. So that is how so different the climate of Earth is. So like that, every planet has a different climate. So we are going to see one by one. So what did we start with? We'll start with Mercury. Mercury is always very hot. So one side of the planet is always facing the sun, and it is always around 300 to 350 degrees. And what happens?
I have question.
You have a question? Okay, ask.
Why is Neptune moving slowly?
Why is Neptune moving slowly? Oh, you want to know in this way?
Yeah.
Like this. You want to know why the Neptune is moving very slowly? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So imagine that you are holding um, a string with a ball on the end. Okay. You can do this in home also if you want. So what happens? You get a string, you get a thread, you have a ball tied to the one side, and you start going around and round your head. So if you start spinning it, if you let go of that string, and it will slowly move out and fall off. Or if you want to do one more thing, you can have a very short string and try to spin the ball. It will go little faster, but if you let it go and if you have a little more length of that string, it will go very slow. So it will go like that. Can you tell me what is the reason for it? Any guess? You can guess. They all started at the same size.
Sir, can you ask the question again?
You have a small
Sir,
string.
I know, sir.
Okay, wait. I'll tell you. One more time. I'll tell you one more time.
Because in the ball,
I'll tell the question
sir,
one more time. One
the
more time.
ball is has
Right. So when I have a string and a ball, okay. So the length of that thread or a string is about 5 meters. 5 meters is very long. It's very long. Okay. So I start to take that string, and I have a ball attached to one side, and on the other side I'm holding the ball,
because of plastic, sir.
and I start to spin
Because
it.
of plastic.
And if I start to spin it for the 5 meter length, it will go very slow. Swing, it will go. But if I shorten it, so if I bring it down to 2 meter or 1 meter, and if I start to spin it, it will go very fast. Why is that so? That is the question.
Because that's a weight.
Weight. And what is weight? You're coming very close. Weight is a very good answer.
And the size.
Okay, and the size. Okay, what is weight, size? There is something called, there is one more thing that is involved in making an object.
Measurement.
Mass.
Correct.
Because of the measurement.
Correct. Someone told me mass. Correct. Mass of an object. So m is the thing that is most important. So when you are very fat boy, okay, when I try to come and hit you, you will not move. You will stay at the same place because you have huge mass. But you are very small, thin boy like me, and if I blow one small air like that, you will fall off. So that is, you have mass. So like that, when the ball is attached to the string, if it is very long, even if the mass is very huge, it will not be able to have enough force to move around. It will be very slowly moving around. Sir, what is this very slow? Yeah, how can I go very fast like that? But if it is very small, and if it is very close to the sun, because of the mass, because of that mercury, it is very slow, and it is running around very fast. In 57 days, it is going around the sun. So that's how it is. So you can see even here, the closest one is Mercury. It is going spinning. But you can see that Pluto or Uranus and Neptune is going very far. It is going very slowly around the sun, and it is coming out again. Now this is like two ways. This is like when you are sleeping, you are looking from the top. This is, you are seeing from the side. So when you are sleeping, it is like you are looking this way, and the other side is looking this way. So this is this way. The first photo is like this way. Sun's orbiting around the galaxy. This next one is, you are looking from the sun from the top of the entire solar system. Getting it?
And the reason also will be the Neptune is far away from the sun and its orbiting line is huge.
Yeah, it is going very far. It is going to take so long for it to come close, and then it is to finish one rotation around the sun. So that's how it is. But some long time ago, they all used to be in the same place at around the same axis. So that's what is shown in this image. For each planet to be in this long time. Okay, I'm coming back to the place where we started. So Mercury is always very hot. It is very extreme climate. If you go for vacation there, you will see one side it is always burning, the other side is always cold. Next is Venus. You can't even stay in Venus. If you try to stay there, you will be burned. You will completely start to burn because the entire planet is coming with so much of sulfuric acid rain. Earth, you know what is Earth. So that is where we live, and this is the only place we know that life exists until now, without any aliens are there. If there are aliens, we don't know if they are living right with us. Mars is something that is always dangerous. There are winds that go for more than 200-300 kilometers per hour. There are huge storms happening in both in the polar region and in the equator region. So much of dust is coming there, and there is a little bit of rain coming in the north and the south pole because there are a little bit of ice there. So there is a small amount of condensation happening in the north and the south pole. Jupiter. You can't see the Jupiter from its surface. So what you can do? You can go and stay in some of the moons. So you know you have Io, Europa, all the Galilean moons. You can go and stand there and you can see storms happening very big. That is the Great Red Spot. All these planets have so much of beauty in their rings and their storms. Next is Saturn. Saturn, you have all the rings there. You can go and chill it out in the rings. You can float on the rings. You yourself can become a moon of Saturn if you stay a little longer. Uranus, it's always endless night of stargazing. So it is always dark. Nobody knows what is there on the surface of Uranus because it is always covered with so much thick amount of clouds. And apart from this, there are other planets and other moons in our solar system and the extended amount of galaxy that we know there are so much of different types of rains. There is water rain, sulfuric acid rain, glass rain. You know what is glass? What is glass?
No, sir.
It's an element.
Glass is an element. Very good. That's a good answer. Glass is some part silica and some part carbon. It is called SiC, silicon carbide. So it is used for making glasses, for making so much of things that you wear in your eyes. You can see mirrors. All things are made up of glasses. And next thing is diamond. Where it is found in Uranus and Neptune. There is also iron. So much of iron in the rains in the solar system. And there is also methane rains happening in one of our favorite moons, Titan. Where is Titan? Can anybody tell me where is Titan?
Saturn.
Correct. So all these things are
It's one of Saturn's moon.
This is one of Saturn's moons. Yes, Kana, correct. So all these things are happening. So we are going to see what are the most unique rains that are happening in our entire galaxy, and each rain is going to be so different from one another. Why is this happening and what is the reason for it to happen? We are going to see in our next episode. So what are the different types of rains and how are they different in each planet? So that is what we are going to see. There are also other rains that has happened even in Earth. That is also we are going to see in the next episode. So what we saw today was about water cycle, what is methane cycle, diamond rain, why is diamond rain happening, what is diamond made up of in Earth, and what are the Neptune's clouds, what is it happening in the Neptune cloud so that it doesn't become a sun or a star and it becomes only a diamond ring giving cloud. So all these things we saw today. So that's it for today. Any questions?
I don't have any questions.
No, sir. Can you ask questions?
Want me to ask question? Okay. I told you about carbon, right? Can anyone tell me what else is made up of carbon?
Pencil.
Very good. Pencil. Very good. Correct. Pencil is made up of carbon.
Eraser.
A battery middle is made up of carbon rod.
Yes, correct. Battery. Some of the carbon nickel batteries are made up of carbon.
They use sometimes they use carbon in food also.
Carbon in food also. For making food you can use, but you can't. Okay, if you are very correct. Paper is also made up of carbon. Very good. Super. What else is made up of carbon? A laptop.
The leaf is made of carbon.
Okay, leaf is made up of carbon.
Diamond.
Diamond is made up of carbon. Very good.
Cotton.
What about us? What about humans? You, me,
We are
everybody.
made up of carbon.
A minute amount.
We are called carbon-based animals, and we are called carbon-based mammals because coconut. Yeah, coconut is also made up of carbon. Correct. So we are an animal which is coming from a family of carbon-based animals. Okay. When we see our grandfather's grandfather, like that, if we go some 1,000 grandfathers in the back in history, there will be one person for all of us. You know who will that be?
Monkeys or something.
Okay, monkey is very good. Okay. Before monkey grandfather, who will be there?
Dinosaurs.
Okay, before dinosaur grandfather, who will be there?
Fish.
Okay.
Crocodile.
Crocodile, fish. No, Kanaka. Cow and all very late. Cow and all after dinosaurs only it came. So we are very close. So fish is something that everything. So even fish is something that we are calling ourselves as very closely related. So when we see that our DNA, there is DNA is something that we given as a program in our human body. So when we start to analyze this, we will be somewhere around 40 to 45% very closely related to a fish, and we are very close to a tree. So tree is around 70-80%, and chimpanzees, orangutans, apes and all are around to 90%. The more and more you try to find, the most common element among all this element in animals is carbon, because we started developing all our needs based on finding heat and water. Heat comes from carbon, water also comes from burning something or burning out of some elements. So hydrogen and oxygen comes by burning things. Okay, hydrolysis is a very complicated thing, but imagine that all we are looking for is finding carbon. I will tell you one story. Okay, this is a very interesting story which you can tell your friends also. There used to be one big snake. You can imagine that it is called a snake, and this snake gives out so many little snakes. So all the baby snakes come out, and they have to do three things first, so that the mother snake will have that you don't have to worry, you will do on your own. So this mother snake asks them to do three tasks. If they don't do the three tasks, she will say, you have to try better, you have to go better, you have to do things faster, and all these things. These three things are finding the light. That is, when they come out, they have to search for light, and they have to look for that light and say, this is light. So they have to move towards the light. Second thing is, they have to find their own food. So the food is something like insect or some leaves or whatever that snake is trying to eat. Whatever it is.
Meat.
Oh, meat. Meat also the snake can eat, but it's a very baby snake. No, baby snake can't go and eat a meat. So it has to find some tadpole, something like that, very small. Okay. The third thing is, it has to show that it has got strength. So what it has to do? it has to shed its own skin. So that skin is made up of very very tough scales. That scale, it has to shed it out, so it has to wiggle out, so it has to take off its shirt, and it has to prove that it is able to do all these three things. So like that, every animal in the world is programmed to do certain things so that it becomes a dominant animal. You know what we humans do when we come out of our mummy's tummy? What will you do?
Right.
We cry. Yes. And what we do when we don't cry?
Laugh.
Because that is opposite of what we don't do when we cry. There is another thing that we have to do when we cry.
Takes our legs and hands.
No, have to breathe. So when you are moving your muscle in your eye, your body will automatically try to create energy by breathing a lot of oxygen into your body. So whenever a kuti papa is born, these two things it has to do. It has to breathe, it has to learn to breathe, it has to cry, because without which it is not knowing whether it is a animal which is known for being a human. All these things are programmed into our mind. So like that, every element, so like carbon, iron, methane, everything is programmed to do certain things. So like that, we have all evolved into certain kind of animals in the world. You like the story?
Yes, sir.
The snake is called as king cobra. Three fundamental
Yes, sir, I
things,
know.
three fundamental things of king cobra. If you go and Google it, it will tell you all these three things: searching for light, looking for food. Anaconda is a different species, Kana. Anaconda is also there.
Sometimes king cobra have two heads.
Yeah, sometimes it has. King cobra has two heads also. Yes, like that. Okay. Do you have any questions? You can ask me.
No, sir, can you ask?
I don't have.
Don't have. Okay. We are going to land on one of the planets in the next 15 days. Which planet are we going to land?
Neptune?
Saturn.
No, not Saturn.
Mars.
Correct.
Mars.
We are going to send a small robot, flying robot to Mars next month. It's called Perseverance. Okay. When are we going to get our big telescope in the sky? What is the big telescope in the sky? There is one big telescope in the sky already. What is the name of the telescope?
Hubble.
Hubble. Correct. Okay. What is the next telescope to go into the sky?
Endeavour.
Endeavour is a launch vehicle, Kana, not Endeavour. It is going to be exactly halfway between Earth and Sun. What is that satellite called? What is the telescope called?
Moon.
No, Kana. Moon is very close to us. Moon is very close to us than to the Sun. It is called the James Webb Telescope. It is going to go there on either this year end or next year. It was supposed to go on last year, but due to Corona, they said no, we are not launching it this year. So probably next year or in the end of this year they will launch it. James Webb Telescope. It is going to be in the size of one tennis court. It is so big, so gigantic telescope.
Okay, sir.
So that's it for today. We'll wind up. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.